Hey there, CasTech. My name is Ana Gutierrez. I'm the Director of Programs here at Geekdom. Geekdom is a co-working space here in San Antonio, a place where you can come collaborate on business ideas, start a company, network, or just simply have a place to work. I oversee the programs we offer our members, such as workshops, mentorship, startup weekends, as well as our CivTechSA program. CivTechSA is a partnership between Geekdom and the City of San Antonio. Together we work with students and entrepreneurs to find real impactful solutions to current civic challenges. We are dedicated in investing in the future growth of San Antonio's startup community, and it all begins with you. Today you will be hearing from Eddie Johnson III from the Office of Innovation, as well as Lisa Norwood from Animal Care Services.
Hi, my name is Eddie Johnson III, and I'm the Performance Management Specialist at the Office of Innovation for the City of San Antonio. The Office of Innovation is a department within the City of San Antonio organization comprised of three components: process improvement, research and development, and smart cities. We partner with Geekdom for the push of community engagement through CivTechSA to help solve civic challenges with students just like you. Your expertise and insight on how to make our community a better place is valued and appreciated. We can't wait to see what you will be able to produce for this Animal Care Services Challenge.
My name is Lisa Norwood, and I am the Public Relations Manager for City of San Antonio Animal Care Services. What does that mean? Well, that means that I do all kinds of education and outreach. I help lead the team that does those things here in San Antonio. And education and outreach is really important here in San Antonio because we have an animal overpopulation issue in our community. And we have for a very long time. And we get in animals like Missy here, who has been on her own for quite some time, and that's something that we need to do something about. And increasingly, it's something that we're working with folks like you in the community, in our schools, in our businesses, to try and come up with solutions for. What is ACS? Well, that's actually a really good question. ACS has changed a lot over the years. I've been here over a dozen years, and what ACS was then is much, much different than what it is now. So what ACS is now is a multi-service, one-stop shop for all things having to do with pets. What ACS is now is a community resource. We are the place to go when it comes to adopting a pet. We are the place to go when it comes to getting information about public safety, when it comes to getting an education about how to be a responsible pet owner, when it comes to getting information about low-cost resources in the community. And now more than ever, I think that we're the one-stop shop when it comes to how we can, as a community, as neighborhoods, as San Antonio, come up with some solutions. Like I said, we have some issues in San Antonio when it comes to how we treat animals. And if San Antonio is going to be a more humane community, we need to work together to figure out how to fix those problems. Well, the specific challenge is a big one, and it kind of comes down to this. Look at Missy. Missy is a little dog. She has on a pink collar. She didn't buy that collar at the store. She has been on her own, but she has a collar on, which means she belonged to somebody. But if she was on the streets and she was on her own, that means that somebody somewhere is missing her. If she had a microchip, she could have gotten home. She could be home right now instead of here at the shelter. So what we need to do, the challenge that we have, is trying to get more dogs with microchips back home. Of course, we need to get those dogs microchipped to begin with, but when those dogs are microchipped, we need to make sure that those dogs are not only microchipped, but that those microchips are scanned. So, what's a microchip, you say? Well, that one's easy. Microchips are little bitty radio frequency chips. Let me show you what they look like. Radio frequency chips are itty bitty rice size radio frequencies. There you are right there. Don't even know if you can actually even see it, but that's what it is right there. It's a one-time injection. It's kind of a big needle, I admit, but it's a one-time injection that goes underneath the nape of the neck of the animal, and that little itty-bitty glass chip emits a radio wave that can be picked up by a special scanner. That scanner, which is at shelters, which is at vet clinics, can be passed over an animal and it'll pick up those radio waves. I know it'll pick up those radio waves. If you had a microchip, you'd be home right now. So it can pick up those radio waves. That's all well and good if everybody in San Antonio had a microchip scanner. Do you have a microchip scanner? I'm willing to bet you don't have a microchip scanner. I know we have microchip scanners. We have all kinds of microchip scanners. This kind, we have this kind, we have all kinds of microchip scanners. Shelters have microchip scanners. Veterinarians have microchip scanners. What everybody in San Antonio does have, cell phones. So, here's the challenge. If everybody in our community has a cell phone, including I'm sure most of you watching this, how can we figure out a way to make sure that these microchips could be scanned by a simple app? Imagine how much more easier it would be for people like you and me to be able to use a cell phone to be able to scan a microchip. How neighbors could help neighbors get pets like Missy back to their owners. How a pet like Missy wouldn't even have to come into the shelter. She could just immediately go back to her owner because the neighbor who found her could immediately scan her, find out where she lived, and take her back to her grateful owner. So that's the challenge. How do we use our existing technology, the technology that everybody has, either in their hand right now, texting their boyfriend or girlfriend, or getting on Facebook, or in their purse, wherever they may have it, how do we use that technology to help pets just like Missy get back home? I would say the expectations are simple. Think about the challenge from the perspective of not only the pet owner, but from the pet. So let's look at the perspective of the pet owner. The pet owner has lost their pet. They're frantic. They don't know where to look. They don't know what to do. Their first thought might be to put up flyers in the neighborhood. It's a good first step. But that pet could have been picked up by somebody that thought that they'd take them to a veterinarian, or that they'd take them to the shelter, or maybe that they would try to find out who the pet owner was themselves. There's a lot of different scenarios that could play out. The pet owner, though, is trying to figure out where their pet is. So think about it from the perspective of the pet owner, but then also think about the perspective of the pet. The pet is scared. The pet's scared and the pet wants to go back home. We don't need any more pets coming into the city of San Antonio's animal care services. What we do need is we need the community helping the community. This is a community problem here in San Antonio. What we need are community solutions. And that's where you guys come in. Thinking about different ways, I know, Mom, thinking about different ways to help pets like Missy, and challenging yourselves to not only think of the pet owner, but of the pet. And finally, tapping into the expertise that you have, the learning that you have, to come up with an app or an easy way that neighbors can help neighbors by using their cell phones to figure out how to use these microchips to get busy back